Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and this is our weekly TV news show in which we talk about renewals, cancellations, pilot orders, series orders, everything else that comes along with TV news.
Yes, and it's May, so it's a biggin.
It is May. I mean, it was May last week as well, admittedly, but this
Yes,
is.
but I wasn't here last week, so it didn't matter.
Were you not?
No, that's the one you did on your own.
Was that last week? That feels like months
Yeah.
ago. But yes,
I told you that this had felt like a long week, and you were like, nah.
no, but you thought it had been a long period of time since last night. I've thought
That's how long this week has been.
You fool. But yes, as a big week, I have a lot more pages than I did last week of news because we're in the deep into the upfront kind of season where cancellations and series orders are coming in. We have a lot of them. We've probably got the bulk of them to talk about today, although not all. I think as we go through them, we'll maybe notice that like one or two networks still hasn't announced much yet, so they'll come next week probably. When I say next week, I mean probably tomorrow, and then we'll talk about it next week because that's how it works. So as always, I'll be starting off with renewals.
Should be a big list.
It is a big list. I've actually, instead of my usual thing, because normally I'll just I'll put like a line saying this thing's been renewed, this is the network it's on, this is the season it's going into, and that's just what I have, right? Because there's so many this time, I've just put like CBS renewals and then listed them.
We're not starting with CBS, are we?
Oh, we're starting with CBS. We're going to start with CBS, we're going to end with CBS, and there's some CBS in the middle just for good measure.
Oh, I hate this week already. This sounds like a terrible show.
It's going to be a great show. I've got a big Red Bull. I've got the really big Red Bull. Look at that. It's huge Red Bull. I've geared up. Are you getting booze out?
I'm preparing for the CBS.
Didn't you have like a serious hangover after like Arrow on?
Yeah, but that was like 3 days ago.
Okay, just checking.
I think maybe 2 days ago.
Just
I don't
checking.
know. I'm fine now. Like, this is alcoholic. What do you want me to say?
So CBS has renewed. And obviously, some of these shows, like we don't even know what they are, right? I'm just
Probably
being thorough
most
here.
of them on CBS.
Right, Bull has been renewed for season 4. Hawaii Five-O has been renewed for season 10. I remember that launching. I can't believe that's on season 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason why I remember it is because there's a couple of actors in it that I knew from other shows. I think there was someone from Battlestar and someone from Lost.
Sure.
Who I think both left because of was it racist disputes? I can't remember. Remember Daniel Day Kim and someone else. They left the show over something, and I'm sure it was a race related thing. It was a couple of years ago, but anyway.
I don't recall, but I'll take your word for it.
Hawaii Five-O. Madame Secretary, which I have never heard of, has been renewed for season 6. MacGyver has been renewed for season 4.
Burn it, Hill MacGyver.
Oh, remember that pilot?
That was terrible.
That's almost 3 years ago we did that pilot now. SEAL Team got renewed for season 3, as did SWAT, also season 3, and then Man with a Plan got renewed for season 4.
So the trick to CBS is just have a really generic name and you'll get renewed.
Apparently so. What We Do in the Shadows got renewed at FX for season 2.
Oh, that's cool.
I won't say it because it's very spoilery. I've not watched the show yet. I do want to, but I did hear about something cool about the finale, which was
I did too.
Yeah, they went big for the finale. That's all I'll say without spoilers.
Oh yeah.
And then go over to ABC. ABC renewed Grey's Anatomy for both seasons 16 and 17. So it's
bold.
Yeah. They also renewed 2 other Shondaland series. The Grey's Anatomy spin-off. It's called Station 19. I'm assuming that's a fire station.
Probably.
It's just a guess. It sounds like it could be a police station, I suppose. But
no, because police station's a precinct.
Ah, true. Quite right. And then they also got so that's for season 3, and then How to Get Away with Murder has been renewed for season 6.
Man, is that up there already? I remember watching the first season,
Which
I really liked, for the record. But yeah, wow, okay.
Yeah, time flies. ABC have also renewed Bless This Mess for season 2. American Housewife for season 4, The Rookie for season 2. Nathan Fillion's in that, of course, from Firefly. We have Single Parents been renewed for season 2. And we have Fresh Off the Boat renewed for season 6. I might have said reviewed there once or twice instead of renewed without thinking about it.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm pretty sure I did. I just caught it in that last one. I went, oh, I think I did that once already. So that was that. And then the only thing we've got from NBC in terms of renewals is Blind Spot, which has been renewed, which has been renewed for a 5th and final season. So it's getting the final send-off season.
I didn't realize that was still going.
Yep. That's why Lady Sif wasn't in anything past Thor 2.
She was busy getting a paycheck.
Yeah. Well, that's a lie, actually. She was in a couple of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes, which was post-Thor, but other than that.
Yeah.
In the MCU, I mean. Obviously. Oh, my TV's going to turn off. Oh, no.
Oh, for God's sake. We're like 5 minutes into this.
Yeah, but the TV's been on for a long enough anyway. It's not like it cares when I started recording.
Shambles.
Right, do you want to talk about the more fun stuff, though, which is what got the axe? What's dead?
As long as there's some interesting things in there.
Well, this first one, I mean, interesting is debatable, but I think you're going to be happy it's dead. Just based on how painful the pilot was.
Do enlighten me.
Do you remember a little show from TBS called Angie Tribeca?
It's finally dead?
After 4 seasons, it's been cancelled.
What a glorious day.
We hated that pilot. And I like Rashida Jones a lot, but I hated that pilot.
Terrible.
It was terrible. It was the most unfunny thing ever. Fox has cancelled 3 shows at the time of recording. They've cancelled The Cool Kids and The Passage, which were both season 1 shows, so those were both freshman shows that got axed. And then, unsurprisingly, Lethal Weapon got cancelled after season 3.
Yeah.
Mainly because the one star they'd kept and not replaced clearly wanted to leave, so it was basically dead.
Yeah. The Passage. Did we try The Passage?
No, we did not.
No, okay. It just sounds familiar, and I'm like, I can't.
I think we considered it. I think maybe it was a timing thing or schedules or whatever, but we just never looked at it. Turns out maybe that was the right call.
Cool Kids, I don't even remember ever hearing about before.
I think that was like no, we talked about this. This was old age pensioners in like a retirement home.
Okay, yeah, that one. I remember now.
Yeah,
I just didn't remember the title.
But they're in cliques like high school.
Yeah.
ABC has cancelled a lot of things. They've cancelled a comedy called Fam, which only had 1 season. Speechless, unfortunately, got cancelled after its 3rd season.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Splitting Up Together got cancelled after its 2nd season. The Fix got cancelled after its 1st season. The Kids Are Alright get cancelled after its 1st season. And For the People get cancelled after its 2nd season.
I don't know what most of those are, to be honest with you.
I remember the titles from talking about them before they launched. Like I remember The Kids Are Alright being a thing. And
Fair enough.
Splitting Up Together, I remember being a thing. But we go through this every time.
I probably remember the premise, just not the titles.
CBS has cancelled Happy Together, which only had 1 season, and Life in Pieces, which had 4 seasons. And then
I liked what I saw of Life in Pieces.
And then finally, NBC cancelled I Feel Bad. So I'm expecting maybe some more NBC cancellations and renewals next week, because we've only got 1 of each.
Yeah.
So, but there you go. That's all your cancellations and renewals. Next up, Starz has dated their new show that's upcoming called The Rook. It's a supernatural spy drama. It's coming June 30th. Based on a novel by Daniel O'Malley, The Rook is adapted and co-produced by playwrights and screenwriters Sam Holcroft and Al Muriel. What is this name? The lead character's name is Myfan.
Hang on, I need to write this down.
Yeah, write this down. Because Myfan. Now, I want to point out here.
That's Welsh.
Is that Welsh? Because
it's gotta be Welsh.
Because I'm looking at that, and I want to say it's called My Fanny, and there's a problem with that. Because at least
Wikipedia,
to us,
a woman's name derived from Welsh something or other, meaning beloved. It's the name of a popular Welsh song. How do you say it?
Because Fanny, for anyone who's unaware, is a nickname for a vagina in certain parts of the world. So you say it means beloved. I mean, yes, I think people...
derived from a word. That mean that pronunciation guide Mavanwi.
Mavanwi. I had no hope of getting this right.
No, that's because Welsh is a stupid language.
Mavanwi Thomas wakes up in the rain beside London's Millennium Bridge with no memory of who she is and no way to explain the circle of latex gloved dead bodies splayed around her. When Mivanwe, was that what it said? Discovers she's a high-ranking official in the Czech guy? Czech? That's another Welsh word.
Spell it out.
CHEC Q, I think, QUY.
Czechai. I don't think that's Welsh. Welsh don't use a lot of Q's.
Oh, that's the one mercy they have on everyone else.
Lots of W's and Y's and V's and F's, but not a lot of Q's.
Yeah, it's Britain's last truly secret service for people with paranormal abilities. She will have to navigate the dangerous and complex world of the agency to uncover who wiped her memory and why she is a target. So that's coming June 30th.
I'm mixed, because part of that, I'm like, yeah, maybe, but I know for you as well, like the spy elements probably do absolutely nothing for you.
Spy elements, not so much.
The supernatural mystery, maybe, but then Welsh names. Ugh.
I'll be fine once I've heard them say it a bunch of times.
Yeah,
I'll be fine. Yeah. Truth is, though, it's actually right in the middle of a really busy period for us, so it's not looking super lately. We'll check this one out, but of course, one of the new perks on Patreon is some of our patrons can actually kind of prod us into certain pilots should they wish. So patrons, if you really cares about us checking out the Rook, you know where to show it. So that'll take us on then to a trailer for Watchmen, the Lindelof HBO quasi sequel, quasi interpretation of Watchmen. We got a 1 and 20 second teaser. What did you think?
I'm not feeling this whole TikTok thing.
Okay.
Which is the main theme that's running throughout the trailer, and I wasn't feeling that. It felt really cheesy. You know, where the guy at the end's like, "Oh, TikTok, end of the world." I'm like, ugh, I hated it. I hate that moment. But when we're doing the quick cuts or the other bits, that looks like there's some quality stuff in there.
Yes, I it was good. I mean, I don't know. Like how much it ties into Watchmen beyond just having some people in Rorschach masks and having an old Ozymandias.
Yeah, it doesn't look super Watchmen-y, but I mean, it's a 20-second trailer.
Yeah, so we'll see how the themes tie in and why it feels like a true kind of successor to Watchmen in some way. Which, and given leftovers, and I'm a big fan of Lost. People has its detractors, but Lindelof on TV means something, and
I like Leftovers a lot as well.
So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
The real question is, will this go to Australia?
No.
It might.
No.
It's fine. I'll wait. I'll make another crazy prediction based on whatever it gives me.
No, it looks good. I mean, the quality looks high, and it seems like there's going to be a conflict between the police who all wear masks now and these Rorschach kind of gangs or this cult. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah. So that'll take us on to some various Netflix tidbits here. First thing we've got is that Netflix has closed a first look deal with Dark Horse Entertainment, comic book company, of course, and notably most recently did Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Yeah, I guess both parties were pretty happy with that and went, yeah, let's do more.
Also worth mentioning, the Netflix movie Polar with Mads Mikkelsen was also a Dark Horse comic.
Yes.
So they've made a deal to have first look at all their properties, and it means we might get some Dark Horse TV shows and movies coming out. And the funny thing about this to me is that new Hellboy movie just came out and bombed really hard. Like, it was missing from
you thought, oh, Hellboy's dead for another decade at least.
Yes, and somehow Tim is going to get his wish and get a new TV show, despite the fact that his movie completely tanked.
Here's the thing: it should be a TV show. Just everything about it should be a TV show. You can do all the BPRD stuff and actually build to some of these events that the film thinks are, the stuff from the film is like it's from like the fifth or sixth trade, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we can actually build to that, and that could be the fifth season. There'll be some weight and progression.
So yeah, we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, Dark Horse making more stuff with Netflix. Well, at least they have the opportunity to anyway.
I mean, given how we quite liked Umbrella Academy, I'm down for this. It's seems like they treat stuff with at least a reasonable level of respect.
Oh yeah. So next up, so I don't know if you spoke about this much before, but there was a lawsuit from Charlie Kessler trying to prove that the Duffer Brothers plagiarized them for Stranger Things.
I recall.
That has been completely dropped. And most interesting here is because normally when these things end, it's either because someone just won in court or it was settled, right?
Yeah.
This is neither of those things. This one's interesting and almost unique in that the person claiming the lawsuit saw the evidence and went, you know what, I don't believe they actually plagiarized me anymore, so I'm going to drop it and apologize, and that's it.
That's unusual.
Yeah, so here's the details. So Kessler alleged that the Duffer Brothers stole his ideas for the series when the trio got to talking at a reception for a 2014 screening of Honeymoon. So they met at a social event, essentially, at the Tribeca Film Festival. Kessler said he pitched the brothers an idea, a project based on urban legends about a decommissioned military installation in Montauk, New York. He said he was stunned a year later when Netflix announced the Duffer Brothers show, which contained similar themes and was originally called Montauk. That was like the working title for Stranger Things.
Sure. I can see why he was going, hang on a second.
Yeah, so the trial was set to begin Tuesday. I assume this was Tuesday earlier this week. But in a statement on Sunday, Kessler acknowledged that the brothers had demonstrated that they'd conceived the idea independently. The brothers produced emails and Google documents showing they were working on the concept as early as 2010. So I was like, well, I mean, maybe they like unintentionally thought that name sounded cool, the location sounded cool, and they were for a while maybe putting that location in there. But it sounds like all the concepts of Stranger Things they'd been working on since 2010.
Yeah.
So he produced all this evidence. Kessler saw it, and he basically just dropped it. He put out a statement after hearing the disposition testimony this week from legal expert I hired. It is now apparent to me that whatever I may have believed in the past, my work had nothing to do with the creation of Stranger Things. Documents from 2010 and 2013 proved the Duffers independently created their show. As a result, I have withdrawn my claim, and I will be making no further comment on this matter. Well, I love that he puts that last part on there because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you should maybe, I don't know, say a few more things. It feels like, no, I just want to go in a hole and ignore everyone now. I admit I was wrong. Leave me alone.
I don't blame him. Hole sounds good right about now. If I were him.
I don't know. Shake their hands to get a photo with them or something. I don't know. Be nice. If the Duffer Brothers want to, though, they're probably just annoyed they have to go through all this because
probably a waste of bloody time and money.
Yeah. So Duffer Brothers maintained all along they came up with the idea independently with no memory of even meeting them at this party. So, and I mean that last part may be a lie or not, but they proved they were working on it before that, so
it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah. So again, sticking with Netflix, there's a bunch of Netflix things I've grouped together here. So you like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
I do.
Yeah, and it ended with season 4, right?
It did.
Would you like a special?
I would love one.
So you would be interested in a Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
I feel like you're
special.
You're kind of gonna drop me down here now. I would be very interested in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt special. Well, tell me why I'm not getting one.
But they're doing one in 2020. There's going to be a one-off special in 2020. Cast is coming back, including Ellie Kemper, Titus Burgess, Jane Krakowski, and Carol Kane. They're all coming back.
What's the catch? Because you've got a grin. You've got a shitting grin, which is only there if this is not 100% a good thing for me.
It's interactive.
Fuck stickers.
Viewers will be able to make choices on behalf of Kimmy Schmidt characters and take them down different story branches, and they'll get different jokes as a result.
I hate this.
Brought out a cancellation. Resurrected for a special movie, but it's interactive. Oh, I'm enjoying this so much.
You knew this was coming. I could see it on your face the whole time. There's a catch. I had never thought the catch would be interactivity for Kimmy Schmidt. God damn you, Netflix.
This is the best thing ever. Okay, so that's the thing. Next up, Hilary Swank has been cast in Away, which is a Netflix show. It's the show about going to Mars. I'll give you the full description, but Hilary Swank's been cast in it. It comes from Jason Katims and Matt Reeves producing. Swank will play American astronaut Emma Green, who... Emma Green is all the woman we need. Emma Green, who must leave her husband and teenage daughter behind to command an international space crew embarking upon a treacherous mission to the Red Planet. The series is loosely inspired by Chris Jones' Esquire article of the same name, and is described as being about hope, humanity, and how we need one another if we are able to achieve impossible things. Sounds like a typical, we're trying to get somewhere in space, but I'm a sucker for it, so if it's halfway decent, I'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Netflix will probably give it a reasonable budget as well. So.
Yeah. 10 episodes, coming sometime next year.
So standard then.
Yeah. So that's something we'll be checking out for sure. Some more casting. This is for the Perry Mason coming, the limited series coming on HBO. John Lithgow has been cast in it. He joins Matthew Rhys and Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black. Perry Mason was ordered back in March based on characters created by Eric Stanley Gardner. The limited series follows the origins of the American fiction's most legendary criminal defense lawyer, played by Rhys. When a child kidnapping case breaks down his door, Mason's relentless pursuit of the truth reveals a fractured city and just maybe a pathway to redemption for himself. Lithgow is going to play Elias Richard E.B. Jonathan, who is described as a personal attorney, and he's kind of like the mentor to Mason. He's kind of the older. He's his Sully, to commit to Uncharted. He's
sure.
Perry Mason's Sully. I mean, Lithgow's cool. I can never say no.
I like Lithgow. The series in general sounds like it could be a bit dry, but I mean, we'll see.
The one thing it's got going for it is on HBO.
Does help.
I mean, it makes me think the quality might be higher than I otherwise would. Here's an interesting tidbit before we get to the show orders, because after this we're getting to the comedies that have been ordered. So obviously we don't typically have a reason to talk about this, but I thought this was interesting on its own, because I saw the headline. I thought, I have to click on that. I need to know what's going on here. So The Good Fight, which was a spin-off to The Good Wife, and it's on CBS All Access. I just saw the headline, The Good Fight on CBS All Access is censored. And I went, wait, why? They can do what they want. It's their service. Like, what's going on? So the episode came out. It was called the one where Kurt saves Diane. And it was heading into its weekly animated sequence. Apparently this show has weekly I didn't know that, but it has weekly animated sequences. And a black screen appeared that read, CBS has censored this content. And it was on screen for 8 seconds, and then the episode continued.
Was that part of a joke, or did they just censor it?
Well, fans thought it was a joke, but it turns out it was kind of a compromise in that it wasn't really censored, but instead of like putting something new in, the creators, almost out of like some protest, said, no, just put in a card that said it's censored. We're not. But it oddly kind of works with the themes of what it was doing. So they had concerns about some of the episode's content in the animated short. It was a creative solution. They agreed with the producers. The animated sequence was reportedly about censorship in China and how American studios remove content from their releases to appease Chinese censors. The sequence tied into that storyline in the episode in which a video sharing site testing out new censorship tools was meant to be deployed once the site launched in China. According to the New Yorker, series creators and showrunners Robert and Michelle Kings feuded with CBS television studios over the sequence, eventually deciding on the title card route that made to air. So to me, this sounds like, no, we want them to know that you've censored it, and it kind of works in context of the themes of the episode.
Yeah, because it's not like there was something there and then they put the card over it. It was more conceptually there was some disagreements with the producers, whoever.
Well, they may have made it. They may have actually made the content.
Maybe they did
Yeah.
finish it, or maybe it was just
Interestingly, though, they did have one kind of like the producers wanted to have it run for full 90 seconds, which is how long the animated section is. They wanted to just be on the screen for 90 seconds. And CBS talked them down to just having it there for 8 seconds.
Can on CBS at that point, if they're doing the joke, right? Because ultimately that's what this is. Even though you're going, oh, it's censored. Ultimately, they agreed. All right, well, we'll play the joke route because it is still a joke on theme and on topic. 8 seconds makes your point.
It does. It does. I think a full 90 seconds would be, no, we're being vindictive because they bastards wouldn't let us put our animated thing in here. So
8 seconds is funny. 90 seconds is boring.
90 seconds is boring. I think once I knew why it was 90 seconds, I might appreciate it and laugh it off a bit more, though.
Maybe.
It wouldn't work in the end when I'm watching it, but...
You'd be bored, right?
I mean, of course I'd be bored, yeah.
Yeah. 90 seconds is a really long time when you have to just sit and watch something doing nothing.
What you do is you add some elevator music.
Yeah, that's all.
Do. Just, as has been said. All right, let's get on to show orders, which is the bulk of this show. We're starting this halfway through page 5 of my news. 12. And we're going to work our way through these shows that have been ordered from the various networks. And here we go. So first up, NBC has ordered Sunnyside. Cal Penn is going to star as Garrett Modi, the youngest New York City councilman ever who rubbed elbows with the political elite, attended star-studded parties, and was the pride of Queens, but lost his way amidst the power and glamour of politics. After his career in life is hit by a major... just by a major? There's a word missing in that sentence. Right?
I mean, probably.
After his life and career is hit by a major, he is given a new sense of purpose when he's hired. Unless a major from the army comes flying in and hits him, that sentence does not make sense.
Maybe it's like a college major.
A major setback, I'm going to assume, is the intended sentiment. He is given a new sense of purpose when he is hired by a diverse group of hopefuls who dream of becoming American citizens, and he believes he can help. The cast includes Diane Maria Riva, Joel Kim Booster, Kieran Diol, Poppy Lou, Mosey Storm, and Samba Shoot.
I have no idea who any of those are.
I feel like you're going to see that for a lot of these extended casts.
Probably,
that I'm going to tell you,
but this one's different because Cal Penn, I know.
Sure.
It started with a name that I recognize, whereas most of these will probably be I don't know any of them.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm being professional and giving you the official announced cast lists.
Professional's boring.
Also, NBC, they've ordered the Keening Show, which was previously called Saving Keening, so they've neutered it a little bit to the most generic thing possible. Single camera comedy starring Kenan Thompson from Kenan and Kel, Saturday Night Live,
Sure.
That dude. Keenan Show is a family comedy that centers on Keenan, who strives to be a super dad to his 2 adorable girls, while simultaneously balancing a job and his father-in-law, who's played by Andy Garcia, who helps him in the most inappropriate ways. Poonam Patel also co-stars.
What's that personal and professional?
Balancing his job and father-in-law. Yeah, it's there. That's kind of personal and professional.
Right.
Or more accurately, it's professional and personal. Take a drink.
It still counts, yep.
Yeah, he's drinking.
And just in case anyone doubts, it's his drink.
Yes, I was just announcing it for the audio people.
Yeah.
Keenan Show. Sounds like a family sitcom. It is weird. I feel a little bit old though, because I remember watching Keenan and Kel when I was a kid, and he was the teenage son in a family sitcom.
And now he's the dad.
And now he's the dad. What's happened? Where did life go?
I mean, that's what happens when you're turning 30, right, Pete?
Next up, Fox have ordered an animated comedy called The Great North. I remember talking about this actually. It follows Alaskan adventures of the Tobin family as single dad Beef does his best to keep his weird bunch of kids close, especially as the artistic dreams of his only daughter Judy lead her away from the family fishing boat and onto a glamorous world of the local mall. Nick Offerman, Jenny Slate, Megan Mullally, Paul Rust, Aparna Nachira, sorry if I mispronounced that, Will Forte, and Dulcie Sloan are the voice cast of the series.
Yeah, they're probably... Your kids are pretty weird because your name's Beef.
I don't think they're humans. Wasn't this... No, it wasn't this one. There was one where the characters were birds.
I don't think that's this. I think it would have mentioned that.
Yeah. But it says Great North, so... Yeah, this is Alaska, not Canada. Yeah. Well, his name's Beef then. What do you want from me?
I just wanted to point out that's a weird name. Because then the daughter's name was something normal, like Judy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Beef sounds particularly weird.
Okay. Next up, Fox has ordered Outmatched, which was previously called Geniuses. It's a family comedy about a blue-collar couple in South Jersey trying to get by and raise 4 kids, 3 of whom just happen to be certified geniuses. The series stars Jason Biggs, Maggie Lawson, Connor Kalopsis, Ashley Butcher, Jack Stanton, Oakley Bull, and Tisha Campbell Martin.
Christ, can you imagine if I drank for every time you screwed up a name?
Oh dear. I feel like every list has to have one that I struggle with on. There has to be one that's kind of like, not one that I can really go for. So that's it for Fox comedies. Moving on to CBS. Bob Hart's Abishola. It's co-written by Chuck Lorre, of course, your favourite, from Big Bang Theory and 2.5 Men.
Yep.
The show follows a middle-aged sock businessman from Detroit who, after having a heart attack, unexpectedly falls for his cardiac nurse, a Nigerian immigrant. He sets his sights on getting her to give him a chance. That sounds very stalkery.
Terrible.
That sounds like he's going to be like generic stalker dude and like showing up at her house with a boombox on unwanted.
And we're supposed to think it's nice.
Yeah, but he's actually just stalking the poor woman.
Yeah.
Leave Ibishola alone, damn it. Give the woman peace. Next up, CBS comedy. They've ordered Broke. When an outrageously wealthy trust fund baby is cut off by his father, he and his wife move into her estranged sister's Reseda home, forcing the 2 siblings to reconnect. It stars Jamie Camille, Paula Peretti, and Natasha Leggero, Izzy Diaz, and Antonio Corbo.
Okay.
Family in a house.
Like I've seen this before.
Yeah, dysfunctional family in a house sitcom. It's just pretty straightforward. And then they've also ordered CBS Carol's Second Act. This is the one with Patricia Heaton. After raising 2 children and retiring from teaching, Carol Chambers embarks on a unique second act, pursuing her dream of becoming a doctor.
I remember this. This was a recent one because we were like, "Wait, what?"
Just
be a doctor. Patricia
Heaton is going to star alongside Kel MacLachlan.
How dare he?
Dale Cooper's in this. Oh boy, Ito Agahiri, Jean-Luc Bilodeau, and Sabrina Jalil's star.
Nice group of easy names for you there.
I did okay in the Jean-Luc one, to be honest.
I mean, you hesitated.
I'm fine with hesitating. The problem is when I just say it and it still comes out like sludge. Next up, CBS have also ordered The Unicorn, which is a tight-knit group of friends and family who help a widower move on following the most difficult year of his life, which includes being an ill-equipped but devoted single parent to his 2 daughters and taking the major step of dating where, to his shock, he's a hot commodity. We had this before, but it was untitled. It wasn't called The Unicorn.
Yeah, I think I'd remember that name.
Yeah, but he's the unicorn because he's the single dad. You see, they all want the single dad. Here's the shocking thing though. Who's playing this single dad? Which makes me want to check it out. Walton Goggins.
We definitely knew that before because I remember that now, and I remember laughing at it the first time.
I don't remember that. I read that name here, and I'm like, wait, what?
I remember laughing at this before.
That man is so typecast that this is so different. This is so different to everything else he's ever cast as.
Yeah.
Also starred as Rob Corddry, Michaela Watkins, Omar Benson Miller, Maya Lynn Robinson, Ruby J, and Mackenzie Moss. So there you go. So we're at the networks. We're on to Netflix, which has ordered a single-camera comedy called Black Excellence from Kenya Barris, in which he will also star opposite Rashida Jones, hopefully better than Andrew Tribeca. Here's hoping.
She's not writing this one, is she?
Inspired by Barris' approach to parenting, relationships, race, and culture, the series is said to be pull back the curtain and reboot the family sitcom. And apparently sources close to it are saying it's got a Curb Your Enthusiasm style tone. So, which intrigues me actually, because I like that show a lot. So,
yeah,
that's what made it sell it to me. So that's cool. And then the final comedy, also Netflix. Oh, this is not an order so much as it's buying the rights worldwide for something that's on in China, which sometimes happens with Netflix. So they've got the license rights from a series in China called I Hear You, from a Chinese streaming platform called Youku. It's a 24-part romantic comedy, and it'll play from May 15th to Netflix subscribers in 190 countries. Directed by Sunny Hizu. That's probably not how you pronounce that, but I apologise. The series is based on the popular internet novel The Most Pleasant Thing to Hear, written by Shi Zhao Za. It is a story about the romance between a cold and aloof violin maker and a sweet girl next door who aspires to become a voice actor, as they find themselves unexpectedly starring in a reality dating show.
Sure, why not?
This is going to be better than all those American sitcoms we just talked about.
Almost certainly.
I'm going to guarantee it. It's going to be quirky as shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to the meat. Let's get to the dramas, all the orders.
Oh, all those fascinating network dramas.
We're at the bottom of page 7 for the record, out of 12. Oh, we have so many of these. First up, we're going to start with CW. And probably the most interesting thing to us personally is Batwoman. Because it's Batwoman.
Yet also the least interesting news story because, well, obviously.
Yeah, this was obviously going to happen. We've been saying this is going to happen for like a year.
Yeah, so it's not interesting as a news story.
It's not.
Okay, cool.
So here's the official text. Based on a DC Comics character of the same name, armed with a passion for social justice and a flair for speaking her mind, Kate Keene, soars onto the streets of Gotham as Batwoman, an out lesbian and highly trained street fighter primed to snuff out the failing city's criminal resurgence. Ruby Rose, of course, playing Batwoman.
Sounds like Batwoman.
Sounds like Batwoman.
I don't know what you want me to. We spoke about Batwoman about 100 times.
I know. We've spoken about Batwoman tons of times. So Batwoman, it's official though. It's coming. It's happening. CW also ordered Katy Keene, which is the spin-off from Riverdale that they had in development. It's based on an Archie Comics character. Follows an aspiring fashion designer, Katy Keene, played by Lucy Hale, who meets Josie McCoy. So she's coming over from Riverdale. So she's leaving Riverdale to be on this show now that it's been picked up. So fresh off the bus to chase her musical dreams. Their world is populated by kindred spirits, starving artists, including the mysterious socialite Pepper Smith, played by Julia Chan, and Broadway-bound performer Jorge Lopez and his drag queen alter ego Ginger, played by Johnny Beauchamp.
Okay. I mean, it's gonna be as
trashy as Riverdale.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a more diplomatic way to put it, but I don't think there is one.
There's nothing wrong with being trashy. If it knows it's trashy and has fun with being trashy, then
that's true.
Go on.
That's true. Yeah. Lucy Hale's all right, you know. So yeah. Maybe it'll be fun.
CW do a lot of things that we are inherently into, but they do a lot of things we're not into as well. And this is definitely falling
even
into
the things that we should be into can just sometimes be too CW.
Oh, they can be. They absolutely can be. And then they've also ordered, their third order this week is Nancy Drew. So they're doing a Nancy Drew show set in the summer after Nancy, played by Kennedy McMahon, her high school graduation. She thought she'd be leaving her hometown for college, but when a family tragedy holds her back another year, she finds herself embroiled in a ghostly murder investigation, and along the way uncovers secrets that run deeper than she ever imagined. So that's the Nancy Drew show. So that's been picked up.
This sounds like something on CW I could love.
Possibly,
but
yeah.
It's probably going to be trashy and teenage as hell.
It depends. Well, that's the thing. Like, I could have loved Charmed. I could have.
Yeah.
There was potential there. But
it just wasn't very good.
It just wasn't very good, yeah. So that's that. Also worth mentioning, just a little note on the CW pilots here. Jane the Virgin spin-off, Jane the Novella, is not happening. They've decided to pass on that. Kind of surprising, actually, to be honest. I thought that was maybe surefire hit.
An easy win. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing they had in development, which is not happening yet, is Lost Boys, but they're redoing the pilot for Off Cycle, so they're going to reshoot it. So they still want that to happen. They're just not happy with the
because it's got name recognition. That's why they want it to happen.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
Wasn't that being produced by someone reasonably notable?
Oh, I can't remember.
Does that? I cannot tell you.
No, this was just like a footnote saying, the Lost Boys thing's not.
Fair enough. Well, I'm just trying to see if I see it quickly. It was Rob Thomas.
Okay.
That's who it was. I knew there was a reason why it was maybe it'd be worth watching.
Well, if it's still Rob Thomas, maybe he'll do a better pilot. And so he's going from zombies to vampires. Is that what he's doing?
Hey, CW want to give him money to do it. Don't blame him.
So we're over at NBC, and they have ordered Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I don't know if you remember this one.
I definitely remember the name.
Well, it follows Zoe Clark, played by Jane Levi. So that's the first point in the win column.
Well, okay, I'm interested.
Yeah. A web-smart computer coder forging her way in San Francisco. After an unusual event, she starts to hear the innermost thoughts and desires of people around her, but through song.
I do recall this one. I'm very interested in
At first, she questions her own sanity, but soon realizes the unwanted curse may just be an incredibly wonderful gift. In addition to Levi, it also stars Skylar Astin, Peter Gallagher, Alex Newell, John Clarence Stewart, Carmen Cusack, and Mary Steenburgen. Mary Steenburgen.
I have a question for you on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Does Jane Levi outweigh random musical shit?
It depends how far they go with musical shit. Depends how far.
You're willing to try it though, aren't you?
I'll try it. Jane Levi's in it. I'll try it.
Yeah. You're a sucker for Jane Levi and you know it.
I'm a sucker for many a person.
Yeah.
I make no illusions about this. NBC has ordered Council of Dads to series. Council of Dads tells the story of an extended family when Scott, a loving father of 4, has his entire life's plans thrown into upheaval by a cancer diagnosis and calls on a few of his closest allies to step in as backup dads for every stage of his growing family's life. The trusted group of models Scott has assembled to help his family includes his oldest friend Anthony and his AA sponsor Alry and his surgeon and wife's best friend Oliver. The 3 men agree to devote themselves to supporting and guiding Scott's family through all the triumphs and challenges life has to offer, just in case he can't be there to do it himself. This is a very convoluted premise, but to me.
It's an extended family comedy, but it's a drama.
It's a drama. It stars Sarah Wayne Callis, Clive Standen, Tom Everett Scott, J. August Richards, who you might know as Charles Gunn from Angel, the spin-off to the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I groaned as soon as you said that name. I'm like, God damn it.
There was a couple of opportunities earlier, but I was saving it because I knew this was coming. Blue Chapman, MJ Anthony, Michelle Weaver, Talia Tran, Steven Silver, and Michael O'Neill. So, meet a cast.
Yeah.
Not that interested, obviously. I mean, I don't know if that was clear from the way I described
it. I'm shocked.
Yeah. Carl will check it out. Leave this solo review.
Yeah, we'll see.
NBC have ordered Bluff City Law. It's a character-driven legal drama that follows the lawyers of an elite Memphis law firm that specializes in the most controversial landmark civil rights cases. Led by legendary lawyer Elijah Strait, played by Jimmy Smits, and his brilliant daughter, Cindy Keller, played by Caitlin McGee, they take on the toughest David and Goliath cases while navigating their complicated relationship.
It counts. I was ready. I had the hand on the bottle. I was like,
I'm not done yet, hon.
Oh, there's more?
After barely speaking to her father for years, Cindy is suddenly thrust back into the family fold when her philanthropist mother passes away unexpectedly. In the wake of her loss, hoping to reconnect with the daughter he loves, Elijah asks Cindy to rejoin the firm. Also stars Scott Shepherd, Barry Sloan, Michael Leowe, Mamiya Bafo. Clearly that's a foreign name because I'm struggling. Stoney Blyden and Jane Atkinson. So, Bluff City Law.
Cool. It's a legal drama.
So it's a legal drama.
Sorry, I got distracted halfway through. When I took my drink, I noticed a sticker on the bottom of my bottle. I was like, "Oh, what's that?" I never noticed it.
That wraps up our NBC portion of series orders.
I'm okay with that.
Which takes us on to ABC, who have ordered a drama based on the graphic novel series. That's a comic book. Stumptown, which is a Greg Rucka book. And this is Kobe Smulders who's been cast in this. So
she has indeed.
So we like Kobe Smulders. We like Greg Rucka. I mean, I don't know if ABC is the home I'd want for an adaptation of
I have like 3 volumes of this sat on my Comixology unread.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I might have to just so I can give ABC some real shit when this airs.
Yeah, I've not read it, but I like the author enough that like I'm still worried that this may not be the right home for it. So it's actually now untitled. They're not calling it Stumptown.
Why?
I guess they figure there's no name recognition anyway, so they're just going to give it its own title.
That's going to be generic as shit, isn't it?
It follows Dex Parios, maybe. That's Kobe Smulders' character. Described as a strong, assertive, and sharp-witted army veteran with a complicated love life, gambling debt, and a brother to take care of in Portland. Sorry, in Portland, Oregon. They specified the state.
No. Portland is one of those cities where I always say Portland, Oregon. Is there another Portland that is
maybe
the
there
reason
is.
for this?
Yeah, maybe there is. Yeah, maybe there's a second Portland. I don't think it really matters in this case, though.
Portland, Oregon, and Portland, Maine.
Ah, okay, that's why they always specify. All right.
Yeah. Because I've noticed that.
Her military intelligence skills make her a great PI, but her apologetic style puts her in the firing line of hardcore criminals and not quite in an alliance with police. It also stars Tanto Cardinal as Sulin Blackbird, Cole Sibis as Ansel Perius, Adrian Martinez as Tukey, Carmen Mannheim as Lieutenant Cosgrove, and Michael Ealy as Detective Miles Hoffman. So it also mentions that Rucka and the other creators are going to be executive producing. So
yeah, that doesn't really mean much.
It doesn't, does it?
But I mean, I've not read it, but the description it's a hard-boiled crime noir. It's a Rucka thing through and through, right? And is that going to translate to ABC? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I like Kobe, I like Rucka. I just do the ABC this up too much for me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think we have to try it though, right?
We definitely have to try this.
Yeah.
One. Yeah, no question.
So, Stumptown, but it won't be called that, even though that's what the book's called. We'll be calling it something else.
Stump City.
Hard-boiled detective lady. That'll be the name.
I'd watch it.
So we're on to Fox now. Fox have ordered a cop drama called Deputy. We've spoken about this a few times. When the Los Angeles County Sheriff dies, an arcane rule forged back in the Wild West thrusts the most unlikely man into the job. A fifth-generation lawman more comfortable taking down bad guys than navigating a sea of politics. He leads a team of skilled men, of ambitious men, and complicated human beings who won't resist until justice is served. The series stars Stephen Dorff, Yara Martinez, Brian Van Holt, Sienna Guiones, Bex Taylor Klaus, Shane Paul McGee, and Mark Moses. Can I just say, Brian Van Holt is a phenomenal name, and we should all aspire to have such a cool name.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm shocked I didn't need to drink on that one, actually.
You were expecting.
I really was.
You were expecting the phrase, and for those of you who are new to the show, the phrase that Connor's looking for to drink, his booze, is professional and personal lives, or some variation of that.
Yeah. It can be a long-winded version. It can be just slightly different. Sometimes they just straight up say personal and professional.
So next up, Fox have also ordered Next. This is small n, lowercase n, but there's a capital X in the word.
I remember this because it's not an X-Men show.
But yeah, we kept joking it should be an X-Men show because of what they're doing. So it follows Silicon Valley pioneer who discovers that one of his own creations, a powerful AI, might spell global catastrophe, and teams up with a cyber crime agent to fight a villain unlike anything we've ever seen. It stars John Slattery, Fernanda Andrade, Michael Mosley, Jason Butler Harner, Eve Harlow, Aaron Moten, Gerardo Salesco, maybe Calesco, Elizabeth Cappuccino, and Evan Wynn.
Do you know what the worst part about this is?
Mm-hmm.
They had this show about 4 years ago. That one with Carl Urban.
Almost Human.
Yeah.
I remember it, yeah.
Like that was this show because Fox, again, for newcomers, they love to do the cop show with a twist where one partner is something else.
In that case,
right?
it was a robot.
Yeah, this game it's an AI. it's the same thing.
No. The AI is the villain in this one.
Is it? It sounded more like it was the cop from the start.
Who discovers has one of his own creations, a powerful AI, might spell global catastrophe, and teams up with a cybercrime agent to fight a villain unlike anything we've ever seen.
Okay, so it's the AI creator.
Sure, yes, the AI creator and a cop take on an AI thing.
Yeah. It's a Fox show through and through.
Is maybe worth a pilot watch though. You never know.
Yeah, it might be.
Could be
We've
something.
done a lot of these Fox pilots, and they're always pretty similar.
Yeah. Next up, Fox have also ordered Prodigal Son, which centers on Malcolm Bright, who knows how killers think. I remember this one. That is because his father was one of the best, a notorious serial killer called the Surgeon. That's why Bright is the best criminal psychologist around. Murder is the family business. He uses his twisted genius to help the MIPD solve crimes while dealing with a somewhat manipulative father, an annoyingly normal sister, a homicidal father looking to bond with his prodigal son, and his own constantly evolving neurosis.
Thank you, Fox.
I mean, instead of just saying personal life, it listed his entire family.
Honestly, after the first one, I got the point.
It stars Tom Payne, Michael Sheen, Bellamy Young, Lou Diamond Phillips, Halston Sage, Aurora Penero, Frank Hartz, and Kiki Agina.
I recognised Halston.
You've muted yourself there. What's happening?
Am I back? I don't
Oh,
know
you're back. You're
there.
back now. You're back now. But you went all mute for a second.
That's weird. Halston Sage, I recognise the name. It's because she was on the Orville. That's why I know the name.
Oh, claim to fame.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm just like I recognise that. Where have I seen her? And I was like, that's where it was. That's fine.
Very good.
Yeah.
So next up, Fox have ordered an untitled Wiseman and Katniss project. Although this is based on an Australian show called Sisters, so they've just not decided. I think it was called Sisters actually the last time we spoke about this.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, but they've decided that's just too generic, so they have to come up with something else. Anyway, so
Because this isn't CBS.
Created by Jonathan Gavin and Imogen Banks, an only child finds her life turned upside down. My life got turned upside down.
I already remember what this one is.
Yeah. When her father reveals that over the course of his prize-winning career as a pioneering fertility doctor, he used his own sperm to conceive upwards of 100 children, including 2 new sisters. As these 3 young women slowly embrace their new reality, they will attempt to form an untraditional bond as sisters, even though they must welcome a tidal wave of new siblings into their rapidly expanding family. Brittany Snow, Megalyn Ichikawanike, I apologise, I butchered that. Emily Osment, Mustafa Elzine, Mo McRae, Victoria Cartagena, and Timothy Hutton star. Wasn't Timothy Hutton something else I mentioned today? I feel like I've seen that name already.
I don't know. You've said a lot of names.
I have said a lot of names. I mean, this is...
I mean, I recognise Brittany Snow, obviously.
Yeah. Do you know the weird thing about this to me is like... Maybe I'm just an uncaring bastard, but I feel like if I found out I had secretly had a bunch of siblings like all over the place, I'd be like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to talk to them because I don't care.
Yeah, I don't talk to my actual siblings that often.
Never mind ones that just happen to come from the same sperm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be that compelled to form a bond with people who are basically strangers just because they happen to share some DNA.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe I'm a cynical bastard. I don't know.
Money on the retitling it just so it's being called Half Sisters.
Half sisters?
Well, they're only half sisters, aren't they?
That's still boring.
It is boring, but I think they'll go, oh, we can do better. And I went, well, we can't just call it sisters now.
Nah, they should go up somewhere.
They should. But They won't.
The sister paradox or something. I don't know.
Terrible.
Not that, but something. Anyway, so favorite part of the show now, because we're on to the CBS orders.
How many of these are there?
2, 3, 4. 4.
Okay, I can't promise I'll listen to all of them. That's a lot of CBS in one go.
CBS has ordered. Do you know how we love to joke about them having generic titles?
Are they leading with a biggie?
Oh, do you know, I'm going to tell you what it is first, and then you can guess the title. This is fun. I'll let you get this one mentally, but this focuses on a skeptical female forensic psychologist who joins a priest in training and a carpenter to investigate. You can tell I didn't read these earlier. I just pasted them in.
Yeah.
So yeah, a skeptical female forensic psychologist joins out with a priest in training and a carpenter to investigate and assess the church's backlog of supposed miracles, demonic possessions, and unexplained phenomena. Where does a carpenter fit into it? I get why he's a priest.
Because Jesus was a carpenter.
What does that have to do with solving crimes and
It has
miracles?
nothing to do with it. But I'm just going with the religious angle.
Okay. He's a carpenter. We need someone who's a carpenter so we can think like Jesus. You'll do. You've worked with some wood.
Have you got a better explanation?
I don't know. Maybe they have to.
I don't have a title for this one, though, admittedly. I'm sure it'll be very generic when you tell me, but nothing's leaping to mind.
Do you know what this is called? Evil.
I never would have got that.
No. Which makes me think of New Year's Evil, where the killer just on the phone is like, "I'm evil."
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that impression.
It will star Katya Herbers, Mike Coulter of Luke Cage fame, Asif Manvi, Michael Emerson, I like Michael Emerson, Brooklyn Shuck, Skylar Grey, Maddie Crocco, and Delia Knapp. So, there you go. Next up, they've ordered a show, which I actually, Joe, I did this with you before. I made you guess the title to this, so let's see if I can describe it, and you can give me it now, because I've already told you this. And a spin-off to FBI.
Oh, I know it.
What was it?
It's called Most Wanted.
It's the FBI Most Wanted. It's centered on a fugitive task force of the FBI that tracks down and captures the most notorious criminals on the FBI's Most Wanted list. Julian McMahon stars alongside Alana de la Garza, Keisha Castle-Hughes, Kellen Lutz, Roxy Sternberg, and Nathaniel Arcand.
See, my problem here is they're doing ensemble casts. And they don't tend to do personal and professional lives for ensemble casts.
Mm-hmm, that's true. That's true. They've got a lot of ensembles. Next up, CBS have ordered All Rise, which follows a dedicated, chaotic, hopeful, and sometimes absurd lives of judges, prosecutors, and public defenders as they work with bailiffs, clerks, and cops to get justice for the people of the land. This sounds so goddamn terrible and boring.
I remember this one just by how sheer boring it is.
Yeah. It stars Simone Missick alongside Wilson Bethel, Jessica Camacho. Oh, she was on Flash. That was Gypsy.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Hellenberger, G. Alex Brinson, Lindsay Mendez, and Ruthie Ann Miles. Obviously, we'd have no interest in this.
Nope.
No. Unless people want to, just...
Nope. Vetoing it. We have a veto.
Maybe if we put a new tier on Patreon, it's $10,000. We'll watch this pilot for $10,000. You'd watch this for your share of that.
I would, yeah.
Yeah. Another, or 42 minutes of misery for a few thousand, you would.
Yeah, I would. I'd do it for a lot less than that, let's be honest.
Do it for a packet of chips.
Well, it's a bit more than that.
A six-pack. A six-pack.
It's tempting.
Alright, finally then. CBS has given a series order to Tommy. Coming soon on CBS. Tommy.
Tell me. This sounds like it might not be an ensemble.
A police drama starring Emmy winner Edie Falco. The project comes from Homicide creator Paul Atanasio. No, Homicide's meant to be quite good, actually. It's meant to be like a very forward-thinking show in the 90s, but I mean, the CBS these days, I don't really trust.
CBS hasn't changed since the 90s.
CBS is not specifying whether it's fall or mid-season, but it sounds like because of the actor's schedule, it's probably going to be mid-season, this one. In Tommy, when a former high-ranking NYPD officer, played by Falco, becomes the first female chief of police for Los Angeles, she uses her unflinching honesty and hardball tactics to navigate a social, political, and national security issues that converge with enforcing the law. No personal lives, yeah.
God damn it.
So
these characters are all boring.
Now, I remembered this one, and it was untitled. So the Tommy's new here. Like, the title's new. I remember this description being the first chief of police female that deals with...
Who's Tommy?
I think it's her. I think that's her name.
Oh, okay. I don't remember it saying it in the description.
It didn't, but I'm assuming it is, because... I mean, who else would it be?
It's a fair answer.
And you could tell me, oh no, it could be like a subversive, title where it references sometimes. No, it's CBS. It's the main character's name. It isn't going to be nothing else than that.
Yeah.
It's going to be that obvious.
That much credit. Yeah.
So, despite the fact this was a packed show of new show orders, very little of them were very exciting.
That's because they're all network new shows.
They are. Well,
notice how everyone else kind of went. Well, let the networks have this week.
Cable and streaming, of course, just do things when they want. They don't have this strict schedule. The networks do. So we'll probably have some more next week. We'll have some leftovers. This wasn't everything, but there was a lot of it. So we'll see how it is next week. But yeah. Hey, I got a Buffy reference, and I'm all right. Successful show.
I got a couple of drinks.
Yeah. We should tell you what's coming up, TV review wise, and what's been up in the last week. We tried Chernobyl, the HBO miniseries, 5 episodes. First episode was this past week, and go check out that review. And I mean, we'll say this on the next review as well. But yes, Ukrainians, we're aware. We've read the comments. We're aware. We may have referred to people as Russians or speaking Russian a lot. Now, I may be guilty of just exchanging the word Soviet with the Russians, and I shouldn't do that. But show was pretty good, so you can check out our review. And coming very soon, actually, in the next day, basically, as the review of the first episode back of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for season 6. So
finally,
so you can look forward to that. Obviously, Television with the Multiverse is still going on. Yeah, Television with the Multiverse is still going on. That is our DC Comics TV podcast. We do all the DC shows, so obviously that went up as well as per usual. Is there anything else in the next little bit of time?
Let me go and have a look.
What's on the schedule for the next week, Connor?
I'm looking. Nothing beyond what we've said.
Okay.
There are other things that we're recording. Treks Next Generation's just ticking along.
Yeah.
The other thing we're doing is scheduled. But we're in a bit of a lull before
the storm.
Yeah, basically once we hit June, because right at the start of June, Nosferatu hits, Handmaid's Tale's back, and then we get into the Amazon and Netflix period for about 6-8 weeks, whatever it is. And
worth mentioning, we still have 4 episodes of Hannah left. They are happening. We're going to be looking at when to do those in the next couple of weeks, so they are coming. Anything else to say about? I don't want to promise anything, but I've got some ideas for things for the future.
Oh God! Are these the ones you told me about just before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, one of them at least, anyway.
It's not that interesting.
Not to you. So some of our audience will find it interesting because I know it interests some of the audience.
Probably will. Yeah.
I remember comments at once upon a time. Anyway, so that's TV news. So you can, of course, let us know what you thought in the comments below. You can like and subscribe, all that stuff. You can get us on the Twitters at mail_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show and the channel and everything we do here, you can head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv, where you can support us for as little as $1 per month. You get some bonuses, you get some extras.
Or you could check out the brand new tier and get involved on the TV side of things a bit more. Yeah,
new tier lets people have a say in kind of what we drop and what we don't drop, and what already cancels are coming up and that kind of thing. There's also worth mentioning, though, the show that used to be almost cancelled extra, alternating with 121 extra, which was like a movie or a TV topic depending on which one it was, it's kind of evolved into just kind of an unscripted, well, not that we script these, but like an unplanned conversation. We just sit down and talk for 90 minutes and see what happens.
Yeah, it got a bit weird.
First one of them's up. You can get access to that for $1 per month. First one of them is up, so you can check that out.
It's worth the $1 just to see the worst thing we've done.
Yes, definitely the worst thing we've done. So you can check out that, and you can, of course, guys on Twitter and all that. Yeah, but that's us. So thank you once again for watching and listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?